even past the Royal Rumble. We had the Royal Rumble and then No Way Out, and there was crossover there. I mean, the brands haven't been, locked up tight. There's been guys from Raw and SmackDown, guys from SmackDown on Raw over the last few months, since last year, you know what I mean? It almost seemed like the brand split was done.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, they're going to continue doing it, but the reality is exactly that you're always going to see some sort of crossover. I think yesterday's booking was based on, let's put these talents, these stars right now on TV, because the reality, starting next week, we change our booking process, and I think that's probably where they said to themselves, if that is what we're going to do, if Monday Night Raw is going to be kind of brand new in the scope of seeing some of those SmackDown talents on Raw, then at least for the most part we'll end up seeing the last of these guys on Raw until SmackDown comes about.
Hey, we just talked about the segment for Backlash. We had Santino come out on Monday Night Raw. This stuff was funny. I mean, Santino in doses, you know what I mean? Too much Santino is not good, and they've kept him in doses, and the stuff last night was pretty funny with the sister. Obviously, they pre-shot that backstage earlier in the day with him dressed up as Santino, and then Santino came out.
The best part when he goes and says, "Yeah, don't mind her. She had too much Red Bull."
Yeah, that was cool, dude. Some of that stuff is great, man. The stuff, I mean, he's one of the top guys, man. People love him. People love it. He's one of the new guys, the new talent that's really taken off. Hopefully they continue to push him, like I said, but don't put him on the mic too much. You know what I mean? I don't think he needs to come out every single time and be on the mic. But last night's segment, for what it was, it worked. It worked. Beth Phoenix wound up coming out. She says, at Backlash, which I hate. Do it on Raw. Do it on SmackDown. Do it on EC. Do it somewhere else. On Backlash, we're going to have Santina kiss the great Khali, and you guys are all supposed to go out and spend $35 on that match. This set up Melina, who you just talked about. She came out. She's on SmackDown now after the draft last week. Beth Phoenix and Melina. Melina was able to retain here. Still women's champion. Melina, she goes over to SmackDown. John Cena versus Chris Jericho. This is a great match, man.
Overall, it was good. It was, a lot of back and forth. Both hit their finishing maneuvers, and overall, I mean, we kind of knew what the end result was going to happen, but there were a lot of cool spots. Cena on the apron was about to, do the attitude adjustment, and then changes it up, gets thrown, face first onto the steel cage or the stairs. Can you tell that I just finished watching this 20 minutes ago?
Yeah. Better you than me, man, because I'm having a hard time. I remember Jericho hit the code breaker, and then Cena hit the FU, and then they did a figure four leg lock, and it was reversed. I mean, they kept reversing things. You know what I mean? One guy would get this, one guy would get that. It was really, really well scripted. That was about the only full match that I actually watched on Raw. And really good stuff from both of them. You got to give Cena credit where credit's due. You know what I mean? The guy tears down the house every week. And it was cool because you had that group of fans out in London, and I'm sure you got them there tonight. Same arena tonight with SmackDown, or earlier today with SmackDown and ECW being taped. But you had that group of smart fans, and they gave Cena the biggest pop when he first came out, and then by the end of that match, they were all over him. They just hated him. People were chanting Jericho, and Chris was walking around with this huge smirk on his face, almost begging him to give him more, cheer him more, which was crazy. I mean,
well, you hear the ooh, boo, yeah, boo, yeah, boo. And then it's funny because Michael Cole pulling it out, and it's so true. They're he's like, oh, well, they're kind of hating him, but then when he's ready to go, you can't see me, the entire crowd does it. It's like, wait, you hate the dude, but we could certainly, it's just funny how us fans kind of think, it's John Cena. Well, you know what? You may be like a non-devoted wrestling fan, and if one wrestling fan that's devoted hates him, well, you know what? You're going to hate him. Not knowing why you hate him, you're just going to hate him, but then he goes, you can't see me, 20,000 people in the arena.
Every one of them does it.
Everyone does it. And then when he does it, boo!
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, it's awesome how they can work a crowd like that, you know what I mean? And the smart fans, like the people that are in London, or the people, especially the Canadian fans. A lot of fans in the Northeast as well. Just rowdy fans, you know what I mean? The group of smart fans, especially in the Northeast, and especially more or less in Canada. So we had a couple of them guys, a group of those guys, and you could clearly hear them chanting for all the heels. They got an Edge chant going at one point. Edge actually came out during the end of that match. That match ended in a DQ. John Cena won by DQ. We had Big Show and Rey Mysterio up next. I say it every week. Poor Rey guy every single week gets stuck against a big guy like a Mike Knox or a Big Show or a Khali or just Mark Henry.
I don't understand that booking. That was just a mystery to me.
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. Big Show got the clean win too with that. Well, Rey Mysterio's going over to SmackDown, so he probably starts a new feud. Big Show's over on Raw now. You know what I mean? So maybe it's a case of, you know, you got to put the Big Show over because he's going to be the bigger guy over on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio goes over to SmackDown, and I don't think that loss hurts him that much. I didn't like the booking, but I understand why they could do it just because both of those guys got drafted to different brands, you know what I mean? And Rey's going to go out, and maybe this will be the end for Rey. You know, maybe this is the last big guy. Maybe he'll actually go over to SmackDown now and have a decent feud with one of the smaller guys over there, you know what I mean?
John Morrison.
John Morrison. That would be perfect. You do a match between those two, you know, both of them get teared up. I like that a lot.
Or that or Shelton. You know, you got those two guys. You got, you know, Shelton, former USA champion, you know, now that the IC title's on SmackDown. So
hey, we got 1 minute till we got to go to a commercial break. We only got the main event left of Monday Night Raw. Well, we timed that perfectly, man. We got through UFC, TNA Lockdown, and Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk Backlash when we come back from the break. But let's run down this main event real quick. What you think, man, overall?
Another match, just another match between the belt of Orton. Orton wins on TV. I mean, that's usually kind of what's been going on in the last 2 months. Now I'm hoping that, you know, it pays off on the pay-per-view this Sunday, because if not, I'm kind of like giving up on those two, because it's like he gets over on TV, but when it comes to the big dance, he fails. And I think he has to win the title this Sunday in order to make some sort of, you know, to keep me, you know, motivated, or keep people motivated between those two.
I'm a little bit tired of the Randy Orton. I'm starting to grow tired of this feud right now. You know what I mean? I think Randy Orton needs to win it this Sunday at Backlash, and they go from there. I don't know if that's going to happen because Randy Orton got the pinfall. He got a clean win here on Raw. So if he goes on, well, actually, you know what? Because what is it? Triple H doesn't have to lose, right? He doesn't have to be pinned by. What are the stipulations?
Cody gets pinned. I can tell you that. He gets pinned. Anyone gets pinned is going to be Cody Rhodes. And then he's going to retain the title, and then you're going to have, remember what we discussed, and keep on remembering, 3 weeks ago, Rivera called it three-way dance at the next pay-per-view. Was it Unforgiven, No Mercy, or one of those?
Yeah, Judgment Day.
I got those two right. That was one of those. But yeah, I think that's what's going to end up, and that's going to be Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton.
Well, somebody's turning. Whether it's either going to be Batista, and I said watch Batista over the last few. I think it may be Batista. If it's not Batista, then it's Ted DiBiase over on the Legacy side, because they did that backstage segment on Raw where Ted was about to say something about Orton, and then Orton walked in and said, say what, or something like that, you know what I mean? So they teased a split there. Ted DiBiase is going to be leaving to film a movie here in the next few months, and then he's going to come back and return as a face, from what I'm told. This could open up the spot for D.H. Smith over on Monday Night Raw. I still expect him to join the Legacy here in the coming weeks. So, yeah, that was our main event of Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton got the pinfall, and the show ended with Legacy standing at the top of the ramp with the baby faces in the ring trying to figure out what had just happened. That's hour number one. We have to take a quick commercial break. We'll give you guys some Disturbed, Indestructible during the break. This is a good song. It's all over the radio. We'll come back in hour number two, take your live phone calls, and do chat shout-outs, talk Backlash, which is this Sunday night, and lots more. You are listening to WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com. We'll be back right after this. And we're back, WZR Radio, here for hour number 2, leading you guys into ECW here at the top of the hour. I'm, as always, your host, Ryan Clark. I got Jose Rivera back with me for hour number 2. Jose, buddy, we got, what are we going to do, man? We're going to take live phone calls. We're going to talk the Backlash pay-per-view, which is 6 days from right now, and chat shout-outs. Always. So we got a lot planned. We got a live chat room right now. Loads and loads of people in there on a weekly basis, which is awesome to see. WZROnline.com.